Hi, I'm Charlotte. I first became diagnosed with ulcerative colitis at the beginning of 2015, and by the end of 2016 I became attached to Stevie the stoma. Stevie saved my life and is now my trusted sidekick. Bit like Batman and Robin, some might say. My day-to-day life has changed a lot, with regular visits from pain and fatigue, and changed even more so after Stevie arrived. However, I'm forever grateful for Stevie because he gave me my life back. Becoming an IBD superhero has made me value life differently. It's also made me understand that I need to listen to my body more and learn what it is it's actually saying-ish. It's also given me a greater understanding and tolerance for other people and what they might be going through. I've learned not to judge a book by its cover because, as I know, there can be so much more going on underneath the surface. I've also learnt how to become more open about what I'm going through. However, I'm still struggling with the asking for help part of things. But best of all, me and Stevie get to go on lots of adventures and have lots of fun.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm 30 years old and I live with Crohn's disease. I was diagnosed in 2018. At the time, my bowel was that inflamed it nearly perforated, so now I live with an ileostomy. My ileostomy is now a permanent ileostomy and it was made permanent in November last year. IBD affects my daily life in a number of ways. I suffer from joint pain, tummy pain, I have to be careful with what I eat. I also suffer a lot with fatigue, which is not great when you've got a toddler to run around after. Living with IBD has made me realise I am so much stronger than I ever thought I was. It's also changed my perception of my body image. I have now more pictures of myself with my belly out than I did do before my ostomy. It's made me proud of my body and made me proud of who I am.
So I'm AJ and I have Crohn's, was diagnosed in 2009, but I think I had it for longer than that, as people probably not take to get diagnosed. The impact it has on my daily life right now is mainly fatigue. Although it's not been too bad. Previously it was like being sick, toilet, all the usual fun and games. With the IBD, I think it's made me a better person because you're just kind of forced to get on with things, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not going to change, there's no cure, hence why I'm just trying to raise money. And I think in another way it's made me more sort of understanding of other people as well, that just because you can't see it doesn't mean that they're not got anything going on, whether it be a physical thing like Crohn's, colitis, anything like that, or mental illness as well. So I think it's always good to raise awareness, and even if it is a video like this, and just as people watch it and get something from it, then great. But as you're saying, the more awareness the better, so anything that you can do, please help us out, it would be much appreciated, and stay safe. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Lizzy Smith. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease over 18 years ago in 2002 at the age of 14. Like many, I had years of symptoms before this, before being diagnosed. How does Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease, affect my daily life? It has a massive impact, whether that be from fatigue, abdominal pain, bloating, joint pain, brain fog. For me, the main one is having access to the toilet, especially when out and about. There can be quite a lot of anxiety about having a whoops moment, and you're always sort of looking, where's the nearest toilet? Great at the moment because we're in lockdown, literally my toilet's there all the time. Whey! How has Crohn's affected me as a person? It's made me stronger, more resilient, determined, motivated, and actually it's made me the person that I am today. So happy World IBD Day, everyone.
Hi, my name is Lisa, I'm 33 and I was diagnosed at the age of 18 with Crohn's disease back in 2005. I was also given a ileostomy bag 5 years ago. For me, Crohn's disease affects me both mentally and physically. Mentally, I suffer with panic attacks and anxiety, and currently my disease has stopped me from working. I also find the side effects with my tummy pains I tend to get most days, and the fatigue also, no matter how many hours of sleep I get the night before. I find having this illness has made me a better person because I'm more understanding towards other people, and it has made me a much stronger person because I have been through so much already.
Hi superheroes, I'm Amy, I'm 28, I'm a Yorkshire lass and I've got Crohn's disease. I was diagnosed with Crohn's around the millennium when I was around 7 years old, so I was the third youngest in the UK at the time to be diagnosed with it, and I had symptoms as a child for as long as I can remember. I can't really remember much before those symptoms. I also had my permanent ileostomy, who I call Stacey Stoma, in 2011 when I was 19 years old, so I've nearly had her 10 years now. Having IBD impacts my life on a daily basis to varying extents depending on what's going on in my life. I try not to let IBD ruin my life, and I very much try and push myself and make the most of my life where I can. But then there becomes a point where you have to not admit defeat, because I hate that word, but listen to your body and just rest. And sometimes that means you will miss out, and that sucks missing out, but sometimes missing out is actually better than pushing yourself, because in the long term you could end up missing out on more because you've not listened to your body when you should have done. I think IBD has made me a stronger person because I kind of threw myself into the social media world and the support groups to support other people, so I've had to find ways to pull myself through so that I can be there for other people and almost use my own life to develop tips that I can then pass on to other people that they might find useful. I think also being a stronger person with IBD doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to struggle and you're not going to fail, but it's learning to develop that resilience and knowing that it is okay to have your bad days.
So hi, I'm Louise. I am 34. I was diagnosed with fistulating Crohn's disease in December of 2003. This was because I developed a fistula prior to that. My GP said I was anorexic and referred me to a dietitian and the mental health team. They referred me to a GI, and that got lost in the post, and I just continued life as you do then. Buried my head in the sand, developed a fistula, went and yeah, I was admitted into hospital on Boxing Day of December 2003 and was diagnosed with Crohn's disease just before the day before New Year's Eve. My diagnosis has changed over the years. I've now been diagnosed with perianal Crohn's disease. I've had subsequent operations to help with that. I now have a permanent ileostomy, and I've had my rectum removed. I think Crohn's disease as a general whole for me has probably made me a stronger person and more resilient. I've adjusted my life, so it's my new normal. Not that there's ever such thing as normal, and who wants to be normal anyway, because that's just boring. World IBD Day and World Awareness for IBD is more about raising awareness for an invisible illness. You should never judge a book by its cover. Yes, for those of us that are like this, we do look normal, we can look healthy with makeup and normal clothing. If you turned us inside out, it wouldn't be indicative of what our outside represents. So I think, as for those that are newly diagnosed and those that are wondering what on earth to do, life is livable. You can lead a semblance of a normal life, and it is just getting used to how to manage your symptoms and how to manage when you are having flare-ups versus managing when you're normal and your illness is in remission. So that's about it from me. No more waffling, and happy World IBD Day, people. Yay!
Hi, my name's Hannah Driver. I'm 26, yeah, and I have ulcerative colitis. I've had it since 2002. I got diagnosed when I was 8 years old. Then when I was 14, I had to have my colon removed, and I was left with a bag for 6 months and then had a J pouch made. And for the next 10 years, I had nothing but problems. I had chronic pouchitis. And then in 2017, I got told I had a liver disease called PSC. And I had no choice but to have my bowel removed, as the inflammation was just driving the liver even further into failure. So yeah, I had a bag made permanently, and to be honest, it is like the best decision that I never had to make. It really did change my life for the better. Yeah, I honestly, I think having this illness has made me a nicer, all-rounded person. I'm able to like relate to people a bit better, and maybe like sympathise more with them and what they're going through than what I normally probably would have. And I like to think that I see the little things in situations. I see the bigger picture. Like, I'm more grateful for things that other people probably would take for granted. So yeah, that's me.
Hi everyone, my name's Sara and I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2007 at the age of 19. I'm now 32. Having IBD does actually still impact my life on a daily basis. I do have a stoma now, which is permanent because I had my J pouch removed. So I obviously go to the toilet more often, but other than that and having to change the bag every other day, my intestine isn't actually that much of a bother. The joint pain and the fatigue, however, is something that has remained with me even as the intestinal problems have been sorted out. So that's obviously something that is with me on a daily basis. It can be really hard to deal with. Sometimes I think I've mastered the art of figuring out how much energy I actually have to work with. But how much energy I have to work with on a daily basis does change day to day, so can't always get it right. Having IBD has 100% made me a stronger and better person. Before diagnosis, I was 19, so what do you think I was doing? I was out drinking. I was very, very vain. I was very, very bothered about what other people thought of me, etc. And now I can wholeheartedly say that I'm really not. Like, I re-evaluated my life. I figured out what my priorities were. It's led to a change in career direction and the way I live my life completely. And what I do with my spare time, so supporting other people with IBD and hopefully making sure that I can be there and support them and help them through my experiences, ensuring that nobody has to go through what I went through initially. So yeah, that's it. IBD has 100% improved me as a human being.
Hi, my name's Matthew Timmins. I've had ulcerative colitis, type of inflammatory bowel disease, since 2006. Currently, my IBD is in surgical remission. I've got a stoma, and that's helped improve the quality of my life. Before the operation, my quality of life was very different. I'd have blood loss, weight loss, and it got to the point I couldn't even eat a meal, have a sip of water, or drive my own car without being severely ill. Things are a lot better now. Things are a lot better. I don't suffer every day with IBD symptoms. I do have a lot of other health challenges, namely liver disease and adrenal insufficiency, and those can be hard to live with each day. What it taught me going through the operations I did have was that I don't have to give up, and there's actually a great feeling of support between one another as you battle through your own IBD journey. So remember, keep going and don't give up. You will make it.
Hi, my name's Sharon. I have Crohn's disease and I was diagnosed in 2002. The two things that I would say impact my daily life the most are fatigue and urgency. Those are the two that I constantly have to think about when I'm going out or going to work or even when I'm at home. But even with everything we go through, I feel that Crohn's has made me a stronger person mentally and also physically. Whenever I think about the times that I've picked myself back up from all the relapses that I've had and the surgery, it makes me feel like I can pick myself back up from anything life throws at me.
Hi, my name is Stephen. I am 54 years old. I was diagnosed with Crohn's in February 2008 after being ill most of 2007. The biggest impact on my daily life is fatigue. Not every day is the same. Some days are good, some days are bad. On the days that are good, I tend to push myself to such an extent that I suffer for a couple of days after. On those days after I've pushed myself, I suffer from extreme brain fog, which I'm actually suffering from right now because I've had a long day. Also, since my azathioprine was reduced, I've noticed that I'm getting a lot more joint pain as well. Having Crohn's, I hope, has helped me become a more understanding, empathetic and compassionate person. I always try my best to understand what other people are going through, whether it be IB related or not. No matter what you are going through, remember you are never alone. There is always someone out there who will try and help you get through what you are going through. If you haven't already, come join our IBD Superheroes Facebook group. See you there.